we do the vassalage system, explain the causes and developments of the vassalage system. So one of the causes was that the nobles' sons, they had like the advantage of their fathers being, rich and nobles, but they didn't have any right to their father's titles or offices. It's not like your father was the king, you're going to be the king. I mean, that might have happened with kings, but not with the nobles. So they had to make their own way in the world. And so a vassalage system, I would say, kind of compares to our military, kind of. You sign your life away for a certain amount of time. You have to obey everything they say, everything they tell you to do, but they, give you a place to live, food to eat, and protection. So that's kind of what the vassalage system was, except you are signing your entire life away to this person to serve them, be obedient to them and everything for your entire life, and they provide a place for you to live, food to eat, and protection. And they would also, if you became the vassal of a very rich and prominent, like mayor or lord, you would become, associated with that person, and that would further you in life, and that was one of the reasons. Another reason was for protection from the corrupt Merovingian kings, because it was very corrupt with all the kings and everything, and so to become a vassal to somebody else with power would help you to be under their protection, because they have to protect you too. And if they are part of the king's court, say, then the king can't hurt them. The king can't hurt you. And usually rich mayors and lords would take a vassal and get a vassal from somebody who had vassals of his own. And so these lords would practically build up their own army, and so the king couldn't, be a tyrant to them. And so that would be a way of protection for the people, too, to become a vassal to a very rich and prominent lord or mayor of the court. Yeah. So that's the causes and the development of the vassalage system. And now for the last question I need to review is... let's go. I love this one. Okay. So, explain the two main views of Charlemagne's coronation. This is really cool. There were two different written accounts of... What the heck was that? I don't know. Charlemagne's coronation. And one was written by the Pope and the Church. One was written by Charlemagne's, court. His... whatever. And it was his coronation, when Pope Leo III crowned him Holy Roman Empire in the year 800, and he became the Holy Roman Empire in the year 800 by Pope Leo III, who consequently, coincidentally, I don't know, yeah, that's the word I was looking for, I'm an idiot. Anyways, Pope Leo III was accused of, a lot of sins and stuff, and people did not want him to be Pope anymore, and so Charlemagne is the one who helped him to get his position of Pope back. And so the Pope kind of, owed him to help him. And so Charlemagne, this is just background so I can really answer this question right, he was a Christian, and he served God. And so he and the church had the same alignments. They both wanted to serve God and further God's kingdom. And so, in a way, Charlemagne served the church, they tried to make it seem, because he was, kind of helping the church, and the church would help him, because they were both trying to work towards the same thing. And so, with this, though, obviously, Charlemagne was very powerful. And so the church kind of also, they needed to try to hold on to that power too. So one view, usually a ceremony would be the king crowning his son, and it was like a crowning ceremony, a coronation. As usual, he would, And the one written by the court was the Pope bowing down before Charlemagne, honoring the king putting the Pope, more background, I'm going to restart. Two main views of Charlemagne's coronation. The first one, written by his council, Charlemagne's, his city, his whatever, was everything, nothing was out of the ordinary. Usually it would be a king taking the crown and putting it on his own head, and the king bowing down to his son or whatever, whoever, would become the next king and like honoring him, and he's like, you're the king now. And the court painted it in the light of it was just a normal ceremony. It's fine. He painted it in the light of it was just a normal ceremony. The only thing out of the ordinary was the Pope putting the crown on the king's head instead of the king putting the crown on his head. And they made it point in the light of the Pope bowing down and honoring the king as king. But the church's account of the coronation put more focus on Charlemagne being crowned by Pope Leo III. The other one was more Pope Leo III. It was more focused on Charlemagne. He's being king and Leo is bowing down to him. The other one is kind of like the king is being allowed to be the emperor, Holy Roman Empire emperor, by the Pope. Like the Pope is crowning him. The Pope is giving the power to him and allowing him to become this. Was the way that the church was painting the light. And so those were the two different main views of Constantine's coronation. One was it just a normal coronation, not Constantine, I'm sorry, Charlemagne. I hope I haven't been saying Constantine. Charlemagne it was in the account of Charlemagne versus the account of the churches. Charlemagne, regular one, it was a normal coronation, he was in power, he was crowned the emperor. The church's account was the Pope was allowing him, was kind of like allowing him to become the Holy Roman Empire emperor. So those are the two accounts, and this happened in the year 800. So yeah, that's it.